Let's solve equations with fractional coefficients. Now, I know that everyone loves fractions, and that's a lie. Most people hate fractions, and they're very easy and quick to admit that they hate fractions. So what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the fractions. And so when you're looking at an equation and you see that there are fractions embedded, you'll see that I have 3 terms in this equation. This is 1, here's 2, and here's 3. So first you want to recognize how many terms do you have. And then we're going to say, okay, look at the denominators. I've got 4, 2, and 6. What number do all 3 of those go into evenly? You're like, well, 6 is the smallest possible because 6 goes into 6 one time, but 4 does not go into 6. So when I look, I see 12. So what I want to do is I'm going to take each one of these, because remember, equations are about equality. And I'm basically going to take the entire equation and multiply it by 12. So basically, I'm distributing 12 to everything. And that's fair because that's equal. If I do it to everything, it works. So I'm going to have 12 times 3/4 x. I'm going to have 12 times -1/2. I'm going to have 12 times 5/6. So each piece gets multiplied by 12. And look what happens when I do that. 4 goes into 12 3 times. So 3 times 3 gives me 9x. Then in the middle, 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times -1 is -6. Then my last piece, 6 goes into 12 2 times. So 2 times 5 is 10. Now I have an equation that looks nice. 9x minus 6 equals 10. So I work my steps. This is the last thing I'm going to do because the x is the last thing I play with. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. -6 plus 6 is 0. So I have 9x equals 16. And then I divide both sides by 9. So x equals 16/9. And yes, fractions are numbers too. All right, let's do another one. 2/5 minus 1/4 x equals 1/2 times the quantity x plus 3. Now, there are 2 ways you can do this. One is just like we did before, is recognize 2/5 is a term. -1/4 x is a term. And 1/2 times x plus 3 is a term. Because think about this on the right side. 1/2 touching parentheses means I have 1/2 times whatever is inside. That is no different than -1/4 times x. It's -1/4 times something. This is 1/2 times something. It works the same. If it is joined together by multiplication, it is one term. So when I am eliminating my fraction, I can say, okay, I have 5, 4, and 2. What number do all of those go into evenly? Hopefully you recognize that that answer is 20. So I'm going to multiply everything by 20. All right, so let's do this. 5 goes into 20 4 times. So 4 times 2 is 8. In the next term, 4 goes into 20 5 times. So 5 times -1 gives me minus 5x. And then the third one, 2 goes into 20 10 times. So I have 10 times the quantity of x plus 3. Now I am ready to simplify. So on the right side, I start with distributing. So I still have 8 minus 5x. Oops, I added an extra x there. 8 minus 5x equals 10x plus 30. And I know a lot of people like to get their x's on the left. So I'm going to subtract my 10x to move it to the other side. So I have 8 minus 15x equals 30. I'm going to go to the next page. 8 minus 15x equals 30. Next, I need to get all of my constants to the right. And right now I have a positive 8. What's the opposite of positive 8? Minus 8. So negative 15x equals 22. And then I need to get x by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 15, which means x equals a negative 22 over 15. And that is my final answer.